Hello everyone, this is Cookies, and I've got what should be turn 22. We've got a few new messages, so let's go ahead and jump right in. I was predictable and paid for it, but the worst loss this turn came from random chance storming the fort. I considered leaving the mages behind instead of joining the storm, but I thought they might have some knights and champions inside. I couldn't see. Yeah, I don't think you can assume that, especially against Glambered opponents. But definitely could have done more to protect your mages. The battle in the swamp I lost because, again, my mages didn't close before I HP routed. Still, with a knight and a druid down, it was a very expensive win for Yes. Expensive enough that I'm going to try and defend the province south of it. I'm going to not take the obvious move and go for the castle next to me. But instead, I think he should just do the obvious move. I think you've got momentum. The Yes army isn't home. He should know that if he's talking to Machaka. And yeah, you might run into some stuff there, but that's what that army is for killing that stuff. I think this is a tempo losing move, but we'll see. Because if Yes takes a fight with Machaka and wins, he can probably get some sort of favorable peace with Machaka, maybe. Or he can just kind of keep a siege force on Machaka, maybe raid the rest of the provinces, and then start heading back. And by the time Agartha finishes walking over to that other fort and then walking back to the other fort, then I think Yes might be ready for him. So I disagree with this move, but he might not have that information of knowing where Yes's army is. This will hopefully catch their incoming raiding force, and I will either continue on to take the castle there with that army, or turn it around if it takes serious casualties. Meanwhile, I have a second army gathering one province south that will be going for the eastern fort. Ideally, 10 of the 30 Olms in there will be going northwest later to bolster that, while the rest go attack the eastern castle. Splitting like this is a little risky, but I'm gambling he will not send too powerful a force this turn. Sadly, because of Glamour, I will not see them coming. Yep. Uh, that's why you pay so much for elves. I have achieved my goal for the opening turns of the war, which were to grab the palisade so I can drop a lab and use it as a forward base for summoning as the war goes on. I can see Yes has sieged Machaka's capital, but I'm most concerned that I see absolutely no movement from Oceania. I think I can defeat Yes without them, but it will make the next few turns that much more dangerous. And to Oceania's point of view, why would he want to fight the majority of Yes's stuff when he can just wait for word that the main army is dead and then rush in to seize all the water territory? So Oceania's playing it a little bit greedy, banking that his allies can win the war, but it's also probably the safest way to play it. He is losing a lot of tempo, though. I really think he should have taken that throne and started forting it. That way it would have a fort by the time he started hostilities with Yes, if he was going to wait around this long. Alright. Next up, diplomacy-wise, I have signed a NAP with Shinyama and just signed one with Naba. I was expecting Shinyama to attack Jotunheim, but I haven't seen it happen yet. I have more naps than I'm normally comfortable with, but I want to avoid being double teamed during this war, and any war I'd pick of my own choice is at least 10 turns away, even if things go unbelievably well. If Oceania doesn't get in gear and take Yes's capital before I do, they are actually looking like the most likely next target for a war. I don't actually have a nap with them. I'm just sending them cash every turn. Interesting. Oh, did he have some agreement where he would send the income from a province? Interesting. Okay. All right. So from Pyrene. Hey, my good friend False God. Let's see what he has to say about being 2v1'd. So being attacked by Pythium and Shenu isn't great. Nope. Moving to support a small PD dump to kill his western force. I don't know which his he's talking about. Hopefully from there I can swing east and drive Shenu off before coming back south to deal with Pythium. All right, so he's talking about Shenu. I have some irons in the fire diplomatically to relieve pressure, but I don't know if anything is going to materialize. Okay. And then from Jotunheim, I hate my luck in this game. 3 turns in a row I got attacked by Indies. It feels like misfortune -3, not -1. At the same time, it's not all that bad. I was lucky defending the throne from the Call of the Wind last turn. So if the Nabal player knows what is good for him, he will get his god back to the cap, which I'm not going to attack right now. Why? If he doesn't know what's good for him and tries to push for a throne province, then I'm happy to trade some of my sacreds for an easy cap push later. Sure. Why not move on the cap? Is he waiting for more stuff? I would at least change the script before I marched on the cap. I don't think you want to be too easily tested against. For others, I'm kind of worried I'm out of time. Pythium and Shinu teamed versus Pyrene. I would like to intervene because it is as big as me currently. And he'll probably be even bigger if he eats Pyrene. I'm also pretty sure that if they win, it makes me their next target. So Yes is fighting Machaca, and Agartha is doing quite well, it seems, but I would like it to be a bloody, prolonged war. And Oceania is doing God knows what. Maybe planning to attack me, or yes, we will see. If the former is the matter, I will just team up with Yes, so not really worried about that. Let's see. I think he should just focus on killing Nabaa. And then you can pivot to help Pyrene once you've killed Nabaa. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't go on the cap this turn, unless maybe you're waiting for reinforcements. I could see building a lab next to the cap, pulling in some reinforcements, maybe doing some summoning, and then moving on the cap. But I don't think you want to just not do anything to the cap. At a minimum, he should ping the cap. So we'll see if he does that. And he does, at a minimum. All right. So Yes moves into Death Marsh. Okay, we've got this Hydra that's been hanging out here for a bit. Now, 5 PR versus 8 Poison Cloud will not save you, so they're going to have to kill it pretty quick, but if anyone can do that, it's Morvarks. Alright, they do just fine. In Sea of Mermaids, we got Pythium going in the lake. I don't think we need to watch this, though. Yeah, it just loses some Turtle Warriors, kills the Marrow. Alright, Shenu in on Pyrene right away. Got some Daiboks, we got Mercenaries. We got more Daibakemono, we got the 2 generals in the back again. Not really thugging these guys out, just using them for their leadership and their squads. Pyrene is doing a full-on defense, though. He brought the Merman. He's got, I think this is the PD, which is Bone Tribe PD. Pretty good PD type. And he's got all of his Emerald Knights here. So Pyrene should clear this up pretty handily. Although a bunch of the Emerald Knights got stuck here. Looks like maybe 2 squads of them. So they're going to catch these, attack rear Daibakemono, route them. He's routed the Mercs. Now this is where these guys get dangerous. They have a Sleep Aura. The Sleep Aura will dismount these Emerald Knights from their Mouflon. I forget if it's which MR check it is, but the whole unit as a whole doesn't have a lot of MR, so. But it looks like they're gonna rout before that becomes a problem. Yeah, this was a very clean fight for Pyrene. So loses 1 Emerald Knight. They score 82 kills. Loses 39 dieback mono at 25 a pop each. 4 Kappas. So that's another 80 gold. Lost the Mercs. Lost Shooting Doji, another 150 gold. And he traded out 100 gold worth of Mermen, 25 gold, and 70 gold. So what is that, 195 gold to... I mean, he probably already made money just by killing the Mercs in terms of like a gold trade. So very efficient for Pyrene. We'll see how he does on the rest of the front. In fact, let's go ahead and skip down here to Gray Mountains. All right, just another Merc company. Oh, but he's got a little budget group here of Emerald Knights. They're unblessed, but with the PD, they shouldn't get surrounded, and they might actually carry this. Or are they going to kill the commander? So the squad routes. All right, nice little defense. So kills 24 spearmen, loses 36 gold worth of Beckrids. All right. And then we have a lot of Jotunheim attacks. So maybe he's trying to really raid Nabas Silly here. So a big group of Sacreds hits the Black Forest. In Kestria, we got Wolf Riders. They should clean this up. In Barmy, we've got Yes attacking Machaca. Ooh, so this little Morvart group is going to die. It's a diseased Morgan champion, though. The one with Valor, so really good leadership. But 1 HP, so we're sending out on a final raid, I guess. Let's see, +2, +1. All right. Machaca, I think, still not willing to try and free its capital. I suppose I should actually watch it rather than just skipping through it. I mean, we know this group is going to die, but... All right. Let's see. So that was here. Yeah, they don't score a single kill in Chalad Caverns. We got Shenyu going after some independents. Any thugs here? Shenyu has such good thug chassis. A lot of cavemen, though. A little bit of a checkerboard thing. Multiple archer squads. This one's on fire and keep distance. Just trying to whittle these guys down over time. I guess this is even an archer squad, so it's 5 total. And they eventually wear them down. Yeah, that was really well done. Alright. So, loses a few troops, but nothing too much. Especially for killing cavemen. Alright, does he at least raid the cap? No, he pings it. Alright, so this is the all-in defense. Alright, we got Janamirs. We got Desert Warriors. We got the Adites. We got a Malika with a bunch of fire gems. We got Earth gems on these guys. What they can do is summon Earth power, and they'll be E2s. Similar with this guy. I gotta say, I think Jotunheim should have just attacked this turn. I think he might have been able to kill all of this. Alright. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Because, yeah, and the god did not go home. Okay. Probably because of the shatter thugs. So you could have gotten a clean sit on the capital there. It was a small barb PD thing. Only loses militia. Not bad. Alright, Machaca. Ah. Alright. I was kind of hoping that Yes would sit here and just say no more recruitment for AU. Alright, so Machaca frees his capital. Should pick up income again. Nabat attacking Jotunheim. Okay. Yeah, so the birds did not do it alone. I'm shocked. Well, I guess he was just pinging it, probably. Or maybe he had just... No, it was an attack. Alright, we've got this feeble-minded guy who's going to go ahead and run into this throne. I wonder if he would want to try and steal these. But maybe he might try to mind hunt these commanders out instead. So he doesn't even have to fight this. We'll see. Maybe he wants the experience for his troops too. Alright, then in Swandi, another pack of sacreds. Alright, this is a raid versus raid. They do have a point buffer over here. So we have a Yessian Druid. 2 Morgan champions with GSSs. As a reminder, this is the Bless on Machaca, Magic Weapons, Hard Skin, and Regen. Ooh, this guy's also a hero. Increased attack skill. Might have been nice to get this guy like a GSS or something. Alright. Let's see if this Yessian kill squad. Yeah, with all those point buffs, especially Moss Body. Let's see what buffs they cast. Yeah, a bunch of Moss Body and some Blessing. Personal Light, Blurred Body, Quicken Self. Yep. Solid script. I think, where was that? Was that way down here? Okay. Then in Timeless Waste, Jotunheim attacking Nabaa. Where did Nabaa's Pretender... Did it go inside the fort? Like he fucked up the patrol script? No, it's here. Okay, I'm just blind. Alright, so he's going to try and kill these sacreds here. Which... Jotunheim was okay paying this price, potentially. Yeah, they're just doing nothing. Shockwave is too good. So the real question is, at what point do they give up? Right here. Okay. So kills 9 of them. Which is 900 gold. Pretty expensive. Troglodytes hit Oceania. And direwolves hit the Agarthan army. Does it trigger gem usage? It shouldn't, but you never know sometimes. Alright, that looks fine. I suppose... I mean, we've seen this army before, but it might... Might have joined up with some other stuff. So here's the gems. I don't see the Olms yet, so it hasn't met up with those just yet. Okay. So Shinyama taking this last indie province here, finishing off this cave system. Has a fort down here. Now Shinu, I believe, gets a cave income bonus. Yeah. So that's pretty nice for him. It doesn't have the best population. Yeah, this one would be a great one to fort, actually, now that he's taken it. Oh, and he's got this cave system too. So he's forted Gold Crags, which has a great gold mine. So he'll get that income bonus here too. So Shinyama's income should be pretty high with all this cave income. All right. So here we saw Pyrene's defense. We see a new Shinu force in Uffenred. He did the budget defense in Grey Mountains, which was pretty good. The Trogs are besieging the Oceania Palisade here, and we see Pyrene lining up on the border. So this is probably going to be a pretty overwhelming defense, or attack rather. I wonder if Pyrene maybe tries to pull back to the cap circle just to try and defend all this. Because he can probably roam around the cap circle and around this and onto this fort pretty effectively. So we'll see if he tries to do that. Now, moving over here, we've got Naba. Naba is not under siege, but he did try to cut most of the income to Naba. And the Bronze Colossus did not try to go home. Now, this is the group with the Smasher thugs. But the god could have gotten home if it wanted to. This would not have intercepted the movement. Yeah, I think Jotunheim really missed an opportunity to just put Nabat under siege and cut off most of Nabat's income. Although he might have shakes under some of these, and they have the tax collector tag. So it's hard to completely shut down Nabat's income, but shutting down their recruitment would be real nice. And there's not much he can do to defend this fort construction either, now that those Thrums herdings have routed. So if Nabat just wants to cause damage, he could try to run up and cut this off, or destroy this fort construction. We'll just have to wait and see. Oceania still doing nothing. Moving here, we've got Machaka here. They've freed their cap. Bunch of spiders here. They still seem really timid about taking the fight with Yes. Must not like the matchup. Yes did pull back though, so still no conclusive fight here that would allow Yes to move this army home. Unless maybe he got some sort of peace agreement like, hey, I just want to keep this, go do something else with your stupid Hellbless. You know, let me go home. Maybe that would work. You know, especially if he said, I just want to fight Agartha. But, I mean, all this is doing is helping scales nations like Pyrene scale better. Because you've got Yes, who, you know, it's not the most expensive Cav Bless in the world, but it's not horribly cheap either. This is 8 bless points. This is 4, if I remember right. So we've got 12, 16. I think this is 5. So maybe this is like 21, 24, 26 bless points. Maybe I counted that right. So yeah, it's actually a pretty significant rainbow bless. Their scales, they've got the production scales, but the long-term scaling isn't great. Machaka took pretty bad scales in 3 incarnates. So these guys fighting, all this is doing is helping scales nations like Agartha and Pyrene scale more peacefully. When instead, of aggravating each other, maybe Yis could have attacked Agartha, Machaka could have attacked Pyrene, and it could have prevented those scales nations from scaling so hard. Additionally, Nabaz's a scales nation. It's getting run over by Jotunheim, who's got okay scales for what they're doing. But you've got Shenu, who's got pretty much full scales, who's probably going to get a pass into the mid game because Jotunheim went after Nabaa, which is fine. But we have a lot of scales nations in this game, and not a lot of them have been punished so far for taking all those great economics, especially for a 9-player game. All right. And then here, this army's setting up to go on Loreborough. So, I don't know, maybe pulling back here would have allowed Gis to map move all the way to here. But he's definitely not going to be able to do the same sort of defense on Loreborough. But I guess there's going to be a new army here that's going to gather in this fort and then move on Asenred. That doesn't seem terrible to me. And yeah, and then we've got some new stuff heading up through Silvergrove to meet up with this army, I guess. Yeah. On second thought, I don't hate this. It would have been nice to have this cracked, though. But maybe he doesn't want to fight all the Morvarks, and this is a way to kind of dodge them for a bit. And then Oceania, maybe he's going to merge these two groups and finally take this throne. I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. Did get a free fort, which is nice. He's collecting Lizard Shaman, which is also nice. All right, I think that's it. We're at 27 minutes. I know I was trying to do a faster pace with this series. Maybe I'm looking at these turns too long. I'm not sure. But I'll go ahead and call this one here. And I'll try to record turn 23, at least in this session. But not on this episode. So suppose we can go ahead and get graphs, though. We've got Shenu ahead. Jotunheim with a good turn. You can see Nabaa going back down. Forts, Shenu pulling ahead. New fort coming online, it looks like. Shenu and Pythium far ahead on income. Gem income is Shenu. Research is still Machaka tilted, but Oceania is catching up. I do think Pythium might start scaling, although Pythium might be mobilizing mages for this war, but maybe not. They might try to get greedy and not do that. We'll have to see, because it's a 2v1. I could see Pythium and Shenu scaling their research kind of hard pretty soon. All right. Then army size, Shenu taking a little bit of a beating here. And yeah, we'll go ahead and call this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.